New Fern video. If y'all don't know, Fern has been getting like investigated for being like private equity, and we've watched a lot of Fern videos on this channel, this specific channel. So I feel like it's more our integral duty to watch this Fern video, and it's them responding to all the controversy about them being private equity, and there's maybe some shady things going on, and it's just a content funnel. Bang, intro, bang.
Lately, people have been talking about Fern quite a lot.
Fern is the fastest growing documentary channel
Two
on YouTube.
university
Is the channel called Fern?
Who is making
Dude, Fern is so gas as a channel. Can I just say that? I don't know what this is gonna get into, but they pump out like every 1 or 2 weeks like a super high quality like documentary about something that no one's ever made before. So it's a very interesting. Like I always wondered like as a YouTuber, like how are they doing it, bro? How do they do this? So I am interested to see a little bit behind the works of Fern.
these videos and how? So we decided to tell our origin story and to give you a look under the hood.
And I know they're German, and I do love my Germans. Du bist gut genug.
We'll walk you through the 500 to 1,000 hours it takes to make a Fern video.
Jeez.
And we'll give you a peek at what we're planning to do next.
Okay, let me guess how many employees they have. I'm gonna guess they have at least like. How much channel left? Dude, I'm guessing they at least have 10, maybe more. Like in that 10 range. Like.
Alright, first, time for some lore. I am Jonas, or Jonas actually. You might have
Jonas.
noticed already, but I'm German. In high school, I
know
met
that.
David, or David, and we've been friends ever since. In 2015, we started
Low
a
lad.
German
Low
channel
lad,
called
Jonas.
Simplicissimus in tribute to this classic satire magazine. Most people just
Okay.
call our channel Simply today, even for Germans the full name is quite the mouthful. We also started a commentary channel shortly after.
Two
We
bored
were
guys.
still going to uni in the Netherlands at the time, and YouTube was just a hobby. But from
Yeah.
the get-go, we were inspired by the greats on this platform.
Box, Veritasium, Kurtikasat.
We've
They're the
always
goats.
been fans first. Every frame a painting, of course. The Nerd Rider, Kurzgesagt, Vox, CGP
Kurzgesagt.
Grey, Veritasium, Vsauce, Let Me Know, Captain Christian,
Dude, these are
Neil
the
Halloran.
goats of
The
YouTube.
list goes on and on and on. All these
At
channels
Gordo
were in their
Digital,
own way
actual
making
goats
an
of
impact.
YouTube.
And this might sound a bit corny, but we wanted to make an impact too. That often
Aw.
involves reaching many people, which works.
If this is gonna get me to like be on Fern's, well, I'm already on Fern's side to be honest. They make great high quality videos. I watch them, and they're they're always really good. So I'm already on their side, but a lot of people, there's a lot of chit chats. So, but this will get me more on their side. Look,
Best in English on this platform.
English.
So in the summer of 2019, Simply joined Funk, essentially a network financing and producing content for young people funded by the German public broadcasting system. And this marked a real turning point.
They're industry plants. They're German industry plants. That makes sense.
For us. We got professional journalistic training and a stable budget to build a team and make better content.
Oh,
We
really?
had some truly great years there, but it was not all great, and we decided to leave Funk in 2022 for a variety of reasons. One of them
Interesting.
being that it was nearly impossible for us in that setup to try and restart Reezy. First, we kind of got off track with a
Interesting.
bigger streaming documentary on Russian government hackers though. It's actually
So Fern is actually just German industry plants. Interesting.
available on Fern, but for complicated legal reasons.
It
without
felt
all
like
the
that,
cool
Loke.
interviews. When we were finishing off that project, we met Elmer. He already ran
Okay.
his channel Hook. All three
I
of
think
us
I've
were
seen
living in
this.
Amsterdam, and
I've
we
seen Hook.
connected over our shared views on YouTube and what was missing.
So 30 people
Elmer
now.
was a gifted animator and storyteller, and at the forefront of
Yeah,
using
I've
3D
seen-
in his videos.
I've seen
David
Hook.
and I had a team of journalists and mostly 2D animators and knew how to run a YouTube channel at scale. An idea began to form. What if we joined forces?
To Fern.
Over the course of
Why
almost
the-
a year,
why the
we
name
developed
Fern, though?
Fern. The name is a play on the German words Fernweh and
Fernweh?
Fernsehen.
Fern
The
say?
former describes a feeling of homesickness for a place you've never been, and the latter means to watch television. It's also planned in English, hence the green. On July 11th, 2023, we went live. And it all
Fernweh?
became pretty crazy, pretty fast.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of these videos.
It's probably not an overstatement that our videos on the hunt for the dark web king and the kids who hacked the CIA were catalysts for this subgenre. The mystery
pretty
board
good.
flooded YouTube. Copies of our 3D thumbnail style would go on to become a defining feature of AI slop content. We'll cover
Yeah.
that in a different video soon. And we want to stress that we didn't
Oh, they're calling out. Wait.
invent most of this. Let me know had been using
Yeah. Let me know was like the OG Fern, bro. Let me know was like everyone wanted Let Me Know videos. Everybody was waiting for the next Let Me Know videos, and Fern capitalized on the market that Let Me Know left. Like Let Me Know would post every like 6 months. Fern was like every week with a brand new Let Me Know style video.
3D in brilliant ways in his videos way earlier,
This
so
DB
had our
Cooper
friend
video is
Neo
crazy.
and others. We actually
Neo's
got the
good too.
inspiration for the first board thumbnail from his Bin Laden video and asked him if he'd be chill with us creating our own version. In
That's
any
good.
case, Fern was
Yeah,
delivering these types of
good they
videos
asked
on a
permission.
near weekly basis, thanks to countless hours of work by a
Yeah,
hyper-dedicated team. And that was new, helping the channel grow very quickly. But
Super
more on
cool.
our team and workflows in a minute, because pretty quickly there was a problem.
Oh,
Elmer noticed that working in a setting like this wasn't working
so they're still at 3 members. They're still at 3 members. I'm
him.
guessing they end up at
Experimentation and
now
scene
15.
building in
15
Blender
is my final guess.
increasingly
Final
became
guess. 15.
feedback on Frame.io and chasing people
Hey,
for
just checking
script
in on the
deadlines.
script.
And it was tough to not let his personal channel Hook slide. 4 months
Yeah.
after launch and about 15 videos in, he quit. But he continued doing voiceovers, since he was the main established voice of the channel at this point, which was incredibly kind. We're friends to this day, and I think it was a good decision for him. There's no drama here, it's just how things go sometimes. But for David and me at
How
that
it goes.
moment, it posed a huge challenge.
Huge.
We'd only really managed to get Fern off the ground with a third person on board. Now we had to run Simply, Fern, and our other projects in parallel.
Oh, that's
We were at
interesting.
the end of our 20s, managing a team of around 60 employees and freelancers.
Oh, they're pretty old. End of
The
their 20s. So, I mean, they're well into their 30s now. This is a while ago.
rocket was flying into space, and we were hopelessly overwhelmed. There were many stressful periods during our YouTube career, that's just part of it. But this was a whole different beast. Lost in HR, sales, business operations, production coordination, and legal stuff, we could
Jeez.
barely focus
Legal
on the actual
stuff.
content anymore.
Being
We
industry
realized that
plans?
we just couldn't keep going alone, especially if we wanted to keep up the video quality. And that's when
Okay.
we started talking to Electrify. Their business model
Double industry plants. I'm seeing the pattern here. First, the German government. Second, private equity.
is pretty straightforward. Electrify invests in creators, stabilizes their business, and takes a bunch of operational tasks off their shoulders. The creators maintain full editorial and creative control and have final say over sponsors. We quickly
Okay.
understood that the audience's trust is the one thing that matters on YouTube,
That's true.
especially in edutainment. If your quality
Edutainment.
drops, your audience leaves and your business collapses. So any sustainable YouTube operation needs to put quality first at all times.
Dude, Fern is such a good business model. You ever think about that? Fern is such a good business model. Like, it's not like game theory. Okay, MatPat leaves, and no one really, I don't know, do people really watch game theory anymore? Like, are people don't, like, to me, like, that's a personality. And Fern, I feel like no matter what, this is such a good channel to buy for private equity that you could buy it, and no matter if people age out of it or do different projects, you could keep Fern going because it's just like an educational, like the voice and like the people behind it aren't the main focus, so it's so easy to scale, which is like on a very interesting and unique to Fern, which I think
We
was good for
intrinsically knew
private
that,
equity.
and apart from that, just always want to make better, more meaningful content with the biggest possible
Yes.
impact. But we needed any possible partner to understand this too. While considering it, we spoke to
Veritasium.
Derek from Veritasium about his experiences. He'd
Oh, is
been
he
with
also?
Electrify for quite some time at this
Oh.
point, and his
See, if Veritasium's with it, I low-key trust it. Is that crazy? Making the best videos on the internet about getting to the truth. Okay, this might be the worst PowerPoint presentation I've ever seen, and this is from Veritasium. So I don't know about
work-life
this.
balance had improved dramatically, while the channel kept
Okay.
making some of the best content on this platform.
Yeah, Veritasium's
For us,
goated.
the proof was in the pudding. We believed in their business model, and after months of
say.
consideration, decided to partner with them starting the 1st of January.
Only Simply, Unfassbar, and Fern. So those are two. Simply and Unfassbar are assume are German channels.
2025.
Is Fern their
And
only
that
English
move
channel?
was an absolute game changer for
I might
us.
check out their German channel later.
The change took
I don't
time,
know.
and at times
I
the
speak a little
transition
bit
was
of German.
rocky. But ultimately, they took so many tasks off our hands. HR,
Okay.
sales, legal, etc., etc.
Yeah.
We managed to refocus on the content and stabilized our operations. We're now
Giants
able
back
to
up.
make longer, more in-depth videos with way more boots on the ground.
Yeah, I've realized this in recent Fern videos. They have like people there, which is like crazy. They're paying people to get boots on the ground, and they're getting like interviews from people when before it was kind of just like, Wikipedia research. So that's cool. That's
Our
interesting.
visual quality increased significantly as well as we grew both the writer's room and the production team. There are amazing ex-Netflix and BBC folks working at Electrify with decades of production and process experience. One of them helped us pull off the Wakhan production, for which we successfully sent Valley to Afghanistan. That documentary has won 4 awards so far, and we are so proud of it.
4
And we have
awards?
so much more coming this year.
Wow.
We're experimenting with reenactments. We have several investigations coming for you, some bizarre,
Wow.
some chilling. We interview incredible
Investigations.
people to bring you their
Bro,
stories.
Fern might be the
And of
GOAT. This might be
course, we're
Glaze.
planning new videos with Valley. Maybe that's a good
Wow.
moment to give you a little insight into how we're
Oh,
making all of this
Bar.
content.
Headphones. Yeah, okay. So this is cool and all. I just don't want there to be in like 5 years it's like, the terrible working conditions at Fern. So I am interested on like how the work environment is and how they get these videos done.
The entire next part is totally inspired by Kurzgesagt's 1,200-hour video. Their
Oh, yeah.
quality standards in general have always been a benchmark for us,
Kurzgesagt
and
is
I'd
goated.
probably faint if I ever met their founder Philip in person. We emailed a couple of times though, that was exciting. Overall, about 100
He's a fanboy. I like Kurzgesagt too. Kurzgesagt is also German. Low-key Germans are doing educational YouTube.
people work on our videos. Not all full-time, of course. So we have an endless list of
Wait,
top
100 people work on a Fern video at once?
people work on our videos. Not
How
all
many is
full.
this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 5 to 30. Did I do my math right? Whatever, it doesn't matter. 30 like full-time
Time, of course.
employees.
So
Yeah.
we have an
I was
endless
off.
list of topics coming from all over. Things
I
that
was off.
interest David and me, internal pitches, suggestions from viewers. Generally, we work on about 30 projects at any given
That's
time.
cool to have that
We
streamlined.
try to balance ambitious productions with more straightforward content like true crime. When covering crime, we usually try to find stories that have a second layer, something you can take away from the video aside from the thrill. We aim for a colorful, unpredictable mix, so you'll never know what's gonna come next. We also collaborate with established outlets. They often have far more resources than
Y'all ever realize how bad like established media like the New York Times or this or that are bad at YouTube or like mad at video creation? Watch some of their videos, other than like Vox and funny enough, The Onion, which is like the fake publication, the fake like what's it called? The fake like joke publication. Other than those two, those are like the best at making actual videos. So I mean, I think that's funny that like no other like standard media, which they have all the resources in the world to do, are good at it. I guess just knowledge.
than us, and it's an honor to spread their reporting. Once a topic has been selected, we spend days, sometimes weeks doing initial research. Then we discuss how we could tell that story. Then more days, weeks, or sometimes even months of research follow.
Dang, that's crazy because they post a video every like week.
Often trying to find and interview experts or protagonists. This comes with its own challenges, for example finding film crews all across the world to work with us. Then the main journalist covering the story writes the script under the supervision of an editor-in-chief. Yet another editor-in-chief provides a third pair of eyes, and every video gets a fact-check by our dedicated fact-checking team.
If I had to do this before every video, bro, I think I wouldn't make videos anymore.
Sometimes we bring in additional outside experts to weigh in on science or history questions. We still make mistakes, but we try to correct them as best we can. Once the script is done, the production team rolls in and cooks. Oftentimes our art directors have already been involved during the script process to make sure interviews are filmed in a certain way, for example. A team of cutters, 2D and 3D animators, musicians, and sound designers all work together on a single video.
The sound design
Usually it takes
is
about
great.
2
It's
to 4
amazing.
months for a video to move through post-production.
Dude, half of a video is like retentionability. I'm just inventing that word right now. Is the sound design, and I think that's what I need to get better at. And I mean, like, I'm just reacting to videos, whatever. But like, I think on my own videos, like, sound design is one of the best things. And like, even like short form TikToks, is that what's gonna make you stick around? Because I just posted a TikTok where I just added a few sound effects, and it just has crazy better retention, just because like a few sound effects. That's interesting. Good video. What do we find out? Fern's industry plants. They're German spies, and they're probably the best channel on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly can't think of a better channel on YouTube that is one as helpful as Fern, as informative, as fun to watch. Sorry I'm glazing, but it's just true. Fern's kind of the GOAT. Okay, bye.